Welcome. Today we embark on a remarkable journey through the rich and ancient history of India. This vast civilization, one of the oldest known to humankind, holds within it stories of extraordinary innovation, spiritual discovery, and profound change. Let us begin where it all started over 5,000 years ago. We find ourselves in 3500 BCE by the banks of the Indus River. Here, small farming communities have taken root. These early settlers, through determination and ingenuity, created the foundations of one of the world's first urban civilizations. It was a time when agriculture and trade began to flourish, forming the bedrock of what is to come. By 2500 BCE, the Indus Valley civilization had reached its zenith. Great cities such as Harappa and Mohenjo-daro emerged, characterized by advanced urban planning and sophisticated infrastructure. Organised streets, intricate sewage systems, and monumental public buildings, all testament to the ingenuity of these early people. Their social and economic systems stretch far and wide, a truly remarkable achievement for its time. And then, in 1800 BCE, a new chapter begins. The Aryans, a group of nomadic people, begin to arrive in the subcontinent. With them, they bring new languages, customs, and religious ideas. This period, known as the Vedic period, laid the groundwork for what would become the Hindu religion. It also introduced the caste system, a structure that would shape Indian society for millennia. But as with all great civilizations, decline was inevitable. By 1700 BCE, the Indus Valley civilization was in retreat. The reasons remain a mystery. Was it changing climate, shifting river systems, or perhaps invasions from the north? Whatever the cause, this once great civilization quietly faded, leaving behind only its magnificent ruins. Out of this decline, however, rose a new era, the Vedic period. Around 1500 BCE, the ancient hymns and spiritual texts known as the Vedas were composed. These texts were the cornerstone of Hindu religious teachings and are among the oldest scriptures known to humanity. They speak of gods, rituals, and the deep spiritual connection between humanity and the cosmos. In 563 BCE, another pivotal figure emerges, Siddhartha Gautama, later known as the Buddha. Born a prince in northern India, his search for enlightenment would lead him to found one of the world's great religions, Buddhism. His teachings focused on overcoming suffering through the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, would resonate across the globe for centuries. The subcontinent, however, was not isolated. In 518 BCE, the Persian Empire, under King Darius I, extended its influence into the northwest of India. The Persians brought with them new artistic, political, and cultural influences. For nearly 2 centuries, the Persian presence would shape the course of Indian history. And then, in 327 BCE, the armies of the legendary Alexander the Great marched into India. At the Battle of the Hydaspes River, he met and defeated King Porus, but his conquest in India was short-lived. The sheer vastness of the land and the strength of its people saw Alexander's forces retreat. His invasion, though brief, left behind traces of Greek influence that would linger for generations. But the most powerful empire of ancient India was yet to rise. In 321 BCE, Chandragupta Maurya founded the Mauryan Empire, uniting much of northern India under a centralized administration. This was a period of political instability, economic growth, and cultural flourishing, setting the stage for one of India's most revered rulers. Ashoka the Great, in 268 BCE, he ascended the throne of the Mauryan Empire. Following the bloody Battle of Kalinga, Ashoka embraced Buddhism and vowed to rule with compassion and non-violence. His reign marked a turning point for India as he spread Buddhist teachings far and wide through his famous edicts carved into stone for all to see. However, even the mighty Mauryan Empire could not last forever. In 185 BCE, after Ashoka's death, the empire slowly crumbled. The last Mauryan ruler, Brihadratha, was overthrown by his general, signalling the end of an era and the fragmentation of India into smaller competing kingdoms. Yet from this fragmentation came great achievements. In 50 BCE, the final stage of construction was completed of the Great Stupa at Sanchi. Commissioned by Ashoka, this magnificent structure became a symbol of Buddhist architecture. Within it were enshrined sacred relics for centuries, and it would serve as a beacon for those seeking spiritual guidance. The work began by Ashoka and was completed over 100 years later and expanded to become the great architecture that we see today. Through thousands of years, the history of ancient India has unfolded, a story of innovation, conflict, spiritual awakening, and cultural evolution. From the bustling streets of Harappa to the teachings of the Buddha, this remarkable civilization has left an indelible mark on the world, one that continues to influence us today.